Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Renovation. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jason.
And we made this video not to scare anyone, but to make you aware that when you're thinking about raising livestock, there are a few challenges that you need to be aware of. And these are things that we had to learn the hard way. So we're going to get some hay and we're going to feed the sheep, and then we'll let you know what's been going on around here.
Stick around, guys.
So we put the ram in with Petunia because there's really no reason for him to be in with the ewes right now, especially while they're lambing. We don't want to stress them. They just need to be able to do their thing, take care of their babies. So we brought him and put him with Petunia so that now she has a friend and she isn't alone. Okay guys, we are in our back pasture. This is the pasture that we were talking about in one of our last videos that we put a paddock in, basically to separate the big pasture into two smaller pastures. Over here we have our pond, and on this side we have our forest, which is all pines. And in there we also cut in a trail, so we have a nice little walking trail through there, and that's basically, this is a part of our property that you don't get to see much, especially in the winter because it's so cold and people don't come down here as much because of the wind. It's very wide open and the wind is very strong down here. So you'll see a lot more of this in the, as you saw, the donkey got a little frisky and decided to run off on Jason. So I cut the camera short because I wasn't sure what was happening behind me. So you'll see a lot more of this pasture in our videos throughout the summer. We come down here quite a bit, we fish. There's a lot of catfish and bass in our ponds, and we do some riding back here. Fencing, we're always checking the fencing. And the sheep are normally back here quite a bit in the summer because they have a lot of forage back here. And there's lots of shade all the way around, especially on this paddock right here.
Hey guys, there is a bird in the greenhouse. You get him?
Really quick you can.
And we have success. Or not.
Shoot it!
Ooh.
Shoot, bird! Shoot, birdie! I just want to touch
And we
you.
have success.
Hi!
There's the little bird.
Hi, you're such a cutie patootie.
There
There he goes.
So one of the problems that we had this week was we had a mother ewe go into labor. She was a new mama. She went into the stall in our barn and gave birth. While she was in there, another ewe went in there and her water broke and she was in labor. That mother started cleaning the baby that was already born, which wasn't hers, and started taking to that baby and nursing that baby. And when she finally delivered, she completely did not care for her babies. She ended up having 3, and she didn't really pay them attention at all.
No, she didn't do anything. And what happened was is the other mother of the original one, she was trying to teach her new lamb. She was trying to teach her voice, so she knew to come back to her, so she was mama. And the other one just wasn't having it.
No.
We didn't know any of this was going on.
Right. We knew that they both had gone in. Right.
Yeah.
We knew that they both had gone in there.
Right.
And in my mind, I thought that we should leave them alone, that they'll figure it out. You know, the babies will know who mama is. So we left them alone in the stall together to birth. That was probably mistake number one.
Yep.
Because we should have separated the mamas so that there was no confusion of whose baby was whose and whose mama was who. We should have separated them. And looking back now, I realize that. But this is not something that you just find on Google. You know,
No.
you can't just like search up, you know, what do I do when two sheep are in the stall together? It's not a common thing. Normally, when our sheep have babies, they go to themselves. They find somewhere by themselves and have babies.
Yeah.
This one particular mama decided that she wanted to be in that same stall with the mother that just had a baby. And that really caused a lot of confusion.
There's a lot of chaos involved in it.
Right. And so that all happens throughout the night.
Yeah.
The next morning is when we found them. It found the three. And so we called that a loss, and we decided that we were going to just let the mama of the three nurse this one baby, even though it wasn't hers. And here's where mistake number 2 comes in play. She ended up not producing enough milk, not nursing. She laid around a lot. I don't know if it was sadness over her other 3. It's really hard to tell. But the baby was definitely struggling. And so we decided to intervene. And as you see in this video, we had 3 babies actually in our kitchen. And we'll get to that story in a minute. But we decided to intervene and start bottle feeding her a little bit and help her get some more supplements. We put her back out in pasture with her adopted mother.
Yeah.
I guess you would call it. And she seemed like she was doing okay. Baby lamb was, baaing, walking around. And then I started noticing her not nursing as often, which is not normal. Lambs nurse all the time, really. They're constantly nursing. And so I noticed her not nursing. So I started supplementing a bottle again and bringing it into the pasture with her, bottle feeding her. The mama would come over, check it out. When I was done, the mama would take the baby away. Well, the next morning, so this is probably day 2.
Yeah.
The baby was in the barn by herself. She was shaking, she was cold. My dad actually brought her to me and said, she was all by herself. The mom was not in there with her. And the mama was out on pasture grazing, not paying any mind to her at all. So I started bottle feeding her again. We tried to do our best to help revive her, get some nutrients in her, and ultimately she passed as well.
Yep.
So that was 4 babies by the same mama, or 4 babies caused by the same ewe.
Correct.
Because she had 3 that she didn't pay attention to. Then this one who she adopted that she also didn't pay attention to. So we had 4 lambs die over this one particular ewe. Then, getting back to that video, we also had a mama ewe that had 4 babies.
Yeah.
4.
4.
Never had this happen before.
No.
We were quite surprised.
Yeah. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to do. I mean, this is only our 2nd lambing season.
Right.
And, before they've only had singles and doubles.
Right.
We didn't know what to do about the one mother who was in the stall had 3 that she lost.
Yeah.
And then we definitely didn't know what to do with the one that had 4. So we were all confused.
So this mama ends up with 4 babies, and you can tell that she's struggling. The babies are wandering off, they're crying. She's like leaving them in the pasture crying because
Overwhelmed is what it was.
She was very overwhelmed. I mean, 4 babies, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so we decided to take 2 babies off of her, help nurse them, give them colostrum, and see if we could get them strong enough where they had a fighting chance.
Yep.
And so we put them in the chicken tractor. So while I was taking care of the baby lambs in the kitchen, Jason finished the chicken tractor. We kept them in this so that we could still take care of them, but also have them on pasture. Jason put chicken wire all the way around. He also put a tarp on there to give them some shade and keep them dry if it was to rain. He cut a old hose right here, as you can see, and this is what we can lift it with and also pull it. Pretty sturdy, and it's stronger than a rope, for instance. We also have a latch on the door here so that we can get in and out, and we use this primarily just to keep the lambs safe and close to us where we could keep an eye on them. And we did our very best to bottle feed them, get them warm, get some food in them. We put those babies back out on pasture as well. And they went right to the mama. The mama knew,
came running.
Yeah, she knew exactly
everything.
who her babies were, and they knew exactly who their mama was.
Yep.
And so we put them back there. We watched her for a while. She got all 4 of her babies, and she walked right away.
Yep.
And so we thought, okay, we're good. I mean, this was all in a day that all of this happened. So that was like 12 hours that we were bottle feeding them, trying to get them strong. So that night we felt pretty confident that she was okay. The babies were going to be okay. I mean, she took right to them. So the next morning we get up, and the little brown one that you see in this video, she ended up going missing. We could not find her anywhere. We thought the worst. We thought like a predator got her, or just something terrible had happened. And we searched for hours. Jay walked the pasture, I walked the perimeter, and could not find her. Ultimately, 2 days later, my dad found her, and it looked like she got lost from mama and wandered off. And so that was also gut-wrenching, because
that was a pretty one.
she was pretty and she was sweet and super cute, very tiny. But so that was another big loss that we kind of kick ourselves for now, that we didn't maybe keep her longer, or just take 2 of those babies from that mama. Then we come to today. Same mama that had the 4 babies. She was nursing 3 of them.
Doing just fine, no problems at all.
Yeah.
She was taking care of them,
Babies
everything.
were playing, and everyone seemed healthy. They are very small, which is to be expected because there was 4.
Right.
So they're going to be on the smaller side. This morning we noticed she only had 2. And so we started walking again, doing the same deal. Where's this baby? Is it stuck somewhere? Did something get it? Ultimately, it appears that baby did not get enough nutrients and enough milk. No,
and it had to have passed overnight, because when we found it, it was it had been there for a couple of hours.
So there was no saving it. There was no saving this baby, and we really feel terrible that this has all happened, because that is a lot of loss. That is a lot of loss. And we're aware now that there's going to be times where we might have to step in. Our practice on our homestead is to just let the mamas do their thing. We try not to intervene. We don't get in there and help them deliver, because they're animals. They know what to do. They don't typically need help. They don't typically need us to intervene.
They've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
So they're livestock.
Right. And we just, we're going to let the mamas do their thing. We gave them a little help, gave the babies a little help, and figured, this is what, they're bred to do. Like, they know how to take care of their babies. And ultimately, it caused us a lot of loss, and hard loss, because it's hard to see a little baby lamb, that's not well or deceased. So we really have struggled this week. This has been an extremely hard week on our homestead. We have had a ton of loss this week, and it's because we didn't know any different. There was things that we could have totally have done differently, and we know that now.
But we didn't, like the internet or Google or
Right.
any of those areas or even videos,
Right.
nobody really talks about it, and
Yeah.
you don't really know about these life experiences, and that's what this is a life experience. And now we know how to do something about it, or
Right.
try to do something about it to try to help
Yeah,
and try to eliminate this from happening further.
right. And that's why we're making this video, because
Hopefully we help you guys.
hopefully we help you, and we also want you to know that things happen, and you're not a bad person because something happens. I mean, we thought we were doing everything correct, and so we want people to know that this is the reality of homesteading, farming, you know, whatever you want to call it. This is the reality, that you're going to have loss, and you're going to have situations where you did not have any experience before, or there's nothing on the internet that tells you what to do in a situation. Everyone's situation is going to be different. Ours came at a price, and we're hoping that this helps other people.
Yeah.
So it's sad news to share, and we
Yeah.
hate making a sad video because normally we're pretty happy and
Yeah.
you know, we're building or doing fun stuff, but we felt like that this was really necessary to share our story and what happened, just to reassure other people that this can happen, and it's okay when it happens. You're going to be fine. Your homestead will continue. You just know what you need to do better next time.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
We appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Like and subscribe.
And we'll post some
Keep
more
on
videos.
joining us.
Well, yeah, we'll post some more videos to some of our other happier videos.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.